Okay, so you're thinking about becoming an astrologer.
That's pretty cool.
It's definitely a unique path, and we're going to help you figure out if it's right for you.
We've got a ton of resources from RoleCatcher.
Yeah, they cover everything, like
Yeah.
what astrologers actually do day to day.
And even those tricky interview questions that can be a make it or break it situation.
It's like your cosmic cheat sheet for acing that interview. Think of this whole deep dive like that.
RoleCatcher is an amazing resource.
Oh, we agree.
They've got sample interview questions, but also insights into like the different career stages.
Oh, yeah?
And all the different specialties within astrology.
You know, it's like a one-stop shop for anyone who's really serious about getting into the field.
Definitely.
And I'd really appreciate that they don't just like tell you what to say, you know?
Yeah.
They give you the reasons behind it.
Totally.
So let's just jump right into those interview questions.
Go ahead.
RoleCatcher gave us 10 common ones, and we're going to break them down one by one. You ready?
Let's do it. Let's tackle these cosmic queries.
Okay, question number 1. Can you tell us about your experience in astrology? Seems pretty straightforward, but I have a feeling it's more than just listing your favorite astrology books.
You're right. It really is about like showcasing your passion for the field
Okay.
and how deep your knowledge goes.
Yeah.
You know, did you get any formal training?
Right.
Attend workshops? Have you gotten any certifications? Even self-study is important.
Yeah, definitely.
Highlight all those resources you've used, the different techniques you've explored, and any practical experience that you've gained.
Yeah.
Even if it's just reading charts for like friends and family.
So it's about kind of painting a picture of your astrological journey
Exactly.
and showing them that you're genuinely interested and you've put in the work.
Yeah.
Now, what if somebody's coming from a completely different career background?
Yeah.
How do they frame their experience so that it makes sense for astrology?
That's where transferable skills come in. Think about those skills that you built in your previous career. That could apply to astrology.
Okay.
Maybe you have strong communication skills from like a sales job or analytical skills from working in research.
That makes sense.
Highlight those transferable skills and connect them to how they would be useful for you as an astrologer.
That's a good point. And actually, RoleCatcher's AI can help you pinpoint those transferable skills
Yeah.
and tailor your resume and cover letter to really emphasize them. It's like having your own personal career coach to help connect the dots between your past experience and your future goals.
It's incredibly valuable, especially when you're making a career transition. All right, question number 2. How do you approach creating horoscopes for clients?
Oh, okay.
This one really gets at the heart of your astrological practice.
It's where you get to show off all those skills you've built up, but where do you even start with an answer?
Well, start by describing your process. Do you follow a specific methodology? What kind of tools and techniques do you use? Talk about how you get information from your client. You know, like their birth date, birth time, their location, to create their birth chart.
Right.
And then explain how you actually analyze that chart to identify those key planetary placements and the aspects, the houses, to gain insights into their personality, you know, their strengths, their challenges, and their potential.
So basically, you're showing them that you've got a system, a framework,
Exactly.
and you're not just like making it up as you go along.
Precisely. And don't be afraid to even share some examples of your work.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe talk about a time when you helped a client understand a challenging aspect in their chart.
Okay.
Or maybe you spotted a potential opportunity for them based on their planetary placements.
Yeah. That really brings it to life. What if you use different techniques depending on the client or the situation? How do you address that in your answer?
Just be transparent about it. Explain that you have a toolbox full of astrological techniques. And you tailor your approach based on what the client needs and the specific questions they're asking. This shows that you're adaptable.
Right.
And that you're focused on the client. You could even give some specific examples of the different techniques you use, like transit analysis, progressions, or solar arc directions, to really show off your versatility.
That's a great point. And RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you here, too.
Really?
It can look at job descriptions and figure out what specific skills and techniques are most valued.
Interesting.
So you can tailor your answer to highlight the techniques that that particular employer is looking for.
It's like having a secret weapon going into your interview.
Right. Okay, let's move on to question number 3. How do you stay up to date with current astrological trends and developments? Because let's face it, the cosmos is always evolving.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So this is where you show them that you're not stuck in the past.
Right. You've got to show them you're a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
Do you go to the conferences?
Yeah.
Do you read any astrological journals? Do you follow any respected astrologers online?
Yeah.
Mention specific examples, like a recent conference that you attended, or a book that's influencing how you practice.
So you're showing your commitment to professional development.
Exactly.
Now, what if somebody is pretty new to astrology?
Yeah.
Maybe they haven't had the chance to attend a lot of those events. What can they focus on?
Even if you're new, there are so many resources available.
Yeah, that's true.
Talk about any online courses that you've taken,
Mhm.
blogs you follow, podcasts you listen to. You just want to show that you're genuinely interested in staying current with what's going on in the field. You could even mention a certain astrological concept or technique that you're currently looking into.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It shows you're taking initiative.
Exactly.
Speaking of resources, RoleCatcher's AI can suggest relevant courses, conferences, even mentors
Wow.
based on your specific interests and career goals. It's like having your own personalized astrological curriculum.
It's super helpful to stay focused with your learning. Okay, let's move on to question number 4. Can you explain your approach to working with clients?
Okay.
This one's all about those interpersonal skills.
It's not just about reading charts, right?
No.
It's about building rapport
Yeah,
and guiding people through what can sometimes be pretty sensitive information.
exactly. So how do you make your clients feel safe and supported? Are you a good listener? Do you set clear boundaries? Talk about your communication style and how you tailor that style to meet each individual's needs. Because some clients might want a very straightforward reading,
Right.
while others need more emotional support and guidance.
So it's about showing you're not just an astrologer, but you're like a compassionate guide.
Yeah.
What if someone is more introverted?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they don't have a lot of experience working with clients one-on-one. How do they answer this question?
Honesty is key. Acknowledge if you tend to be more introverted,
Okay.
but emphasize those strengths you have as a listener and your commitment to creating a safe and comfortable space for clients to open up to you. You could even mention strategies you use to manage your energy so that you're fully present for each interaction.
That's a good point. And actually, RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your personality
Wow.
and your communication style and suggest specific techniques for connecting with different types of clients. It's like having a communication coach
That's amazing.
to help you navigate all those interpersonal dynamics.
It's an amazing tool for anyone who wants to get better at interacting with their clients. Now, let's move on to question number 5. Can you tell us about a particularly challenging reading you've done and how you approached it?
Ooh.
This is where you get to show off your problem-solving skills.
Wait, it's like they're asking you to share a cosmic fail.
It might feel like that, but it's actually a chance to show that you're resilient and that you can solve problems. Think of a time where you had a complex chart to read, or maybe a client who just wasn't open to your interpretation. Explain how you handled the situation, what strategies you use to communicate effectively,
Right.
and what you learn from that whole experience.
So it's about turning a potentially negative experience into a positive one
Yeah.
by showing how you grow and adapt. Now, what if somebody's newer to the field and they haven't had a lot of those challenging situations yet? What can they talk about?
Even if you haven't had years of experience, you've likely faced some challenges on your astrological journey.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Maybe you had trouble understanding a certain concept, or you got feedback that was tough to hear. Just frame it as a learning experience.
Okay.
And highlight how you overcame that obstacle.
It's all about showing you're willing to learn. And RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you examine those experiences
Really?
and identify the skills you gained.
That's cool.
Even if those skills weren't super obvious at the time, it's like having a cosmic therapist
Yeah,
to help you unpack those tough situations
I like that.
and turn them into valuable insights. All right, let's move on to question 6. How do you handle difficult or skeptical clients? This is a big one in astrology, right?
Sure.
You're bound to come across people who question your methods
Yeah.
or even doubt the whole idea of astrology.
It's about staying grounded and navigating those cosmic clashes.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
how do you suggest people approach this question?
Emphasize your communication skills and how you build rapport even with people who are skeptical. Explain how you come into these interactions with respect and understanding, even if you don't agree with their perspective. Highlight that you can listen well, validate their concerns, and explain your interpretations clearly.
It's about finding common ground, building trust, even when there's resistance. What if someone's personal belief system clashes with certain astrological interpretations?
Hmm.
How do they navigate that ethical dilemma?
That's a tough one. You really have to stay true to your own values while also being professional.
Right.
You could explain that you respect everyone's beliefs and you approach each client with an open mind, even if their views are different from yours.
Okay.
You can also say that you're committed to giving objective interpretations based on the client's chart,
Right.
and then you let them draw their own conclusions.
So it's about setting boundaries
Yeah.
while still being respectful and compassionate.
Yeah.
And RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you practice your responses to this kind of question in a way that feels true to your values and ethical principles. It's like having a cosmic conscience,
Oh, I like that.
helping you navigate those tricky situations.
It's a great tool for anyone who wants to make sure their practice is ethically sound. Now, let's move on to a question that might make some people uncomfortable. Can you describe a time when you had to deliver difficult news to a client?
Oh, yeah.
Because astrology isn't always sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
Sometimes the stars reveal some tough challenges ahead.
It's about being the messenger of cosmic truth, even when it's hard.
Exactly.
So what's the best way to approach this question?
Choose an example where you had to share news that might be upsetting or challenging for the client,
Okay.
but tell the story in a way that highlights your sensitivity and professionalism.
Right.
Explain how you prepared for that conversation, how you communicated the information with empathy and compassion,
Right.
and how you offered support to help your client process everything.
So it's about showing your emotional intelligence
Yeah.
and your ability to handle those difficult conversations with grace.
Yeah.
What if someone hasn't had to deliver bad news yet in their astrological work? Can they still answer this question well?
Of course. They can draw on experiences from other parts of their lives
Okay.
where they had to have difficult conversations.
Yeah.
Maybe they had to break bad news to a friend or a family member,
Yeah.
or they had to give some tough feedback to a coworker. The main thing is to focus on the skills they use to communicate clearly and with empathy in those situations.
So again, it's about those transferable skills.
Yeah.
And RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze those experiences for you
Really?
and pinpoint the communication strategies you used, even if those situations weren't specifically related to astrology. It's like having a cosmic translator.
I like that.
That helps connect the dots between your life and your professional skills. Okay, question number 8. How do you handle confidentiality and ethical concerns in your work? This is so important in any client-based profession, but especially in astrology, where you're dealing with really personal stuff.
Totally. It's about building trust and upholding those cosmic ethics.
So how do you suggest approaching this one?
Be upfront about your commitment to confidentiality. Explain that you handle all client information with the utmost respect and privacy.
Yeah.
Mention specific things you do to protect client data, like using secure software
Right.
or keeping files password protected. You can even reference any ethical guidelines or codes of conduct you follow, whether it's from a professional organization or something you've created for yourself.
So it's about proving you're trustworthy
Yeah.
and that you take ethics seriously. What if someone's working independently? They haven't joined a professional organization yet. How can they show their commitment to ethical practices?
Even if you're not part of a formal organization, you can still explain your own personal code of ethics. Talk about your values around confidentiality, getting informed consent from your clients, and respecting boundaries. You can even give examples of how you've upheld those values in your practice.
So it's about walking the cosmic walk, not just talking the talk, right?
Exactly.
And RoleCatcher's AI can actually give you resources and information on ethical guidelines
Oh, wow.
and best practices for astrologers, even if you're flying solo.
That's fantastic.
It's like having a cosmic ethics advisor in your pocket.
It's a really valuable tool for anyone who wants to make sure they're doing things the right way and that their practice aligns with industry standards. Now, on to question number 9. Can you describe a time when you had to adapt your approach to fit a client's specific needs?
Okay, so this is where you show that you're not a one-size-fits-all astrologer.
Exactly. This is about showing how flexible you are and your client-centered approach.
So how do you suggest tackling this question?
Think about a time when you had to change your communication style, or maybe the techniques you were using, or even how you presented the information to the client, all to meet that person's unique needs. Maybe you had a client who was really visual, so you used more charts and diagrams in their reading, or maybe you had a client who was super skeptical.
Right.
So you spent extra time explaining how you do things and addressing their concerns.
So basically, it's about tailoring your approach to give a truly personalized experience.
Yes.
Now, what if someone's new to the field and hasn't had a lot of experience working with different kinds of clients? How do they answer this effectively?
Even if you haven't worked with tons of clients, you can still show your adaptability. Think about times when you've had to change how you communicate in other parts of your life. Like when you had to explain a complicated topic to a friend who didn't know anything about it.
Okay.
Or maybe you had to tailor a presentation to a specific group of people.
Right.
The important thing is to show that you can be flexible and respond to different needs and viewpoints.
Those are great examples. RoleCatcher's AI can even help you analyze those past experiences.
Oh, wow.
And spot those times where you successfully adapted, even if it wasn't in a professional setting. It's like having a cosmic mirror showing you those hidden skills and strengths.
That's pretty cool. It's a fantastic tool for anyone who wants to understand their natural abilities and how to really use them in their career.
Absolutely. Okay, on to the final question. How do you ensure that you're providing accurate and helpful insights to your clients? This one's pretty broad, but it gets at the heart of your integrity as a professional.
It really does.
So what are some key things to mention when you answer this?
First, emphasize that you're dedicated to constantly learning and improving. Talk about the specific resources you use to stay current. Books, journals, conferences, online courses, anything you do to make sure your knowledge is up to date. You can also explain how you double-check your interpretations.
Okay.
Whether it's by getting feedback from clients, discussing charts with other astrologers,
Right.
or researching different perspectives on astrological concepts.
So it's about showing them that you're not just going with your gut.
Right.
You're backing up your readings with research and a commitment to accuracy. But what if someone takes a more intuitive approach to astrology?
Yeah.
How do they show that they're committed to providing helpful insights?
If your approach is more intuitive, you can explain how you nurture and refine that intuition. Maybe you meditate or keep a journal to strengthen those abilities. Perhaps you have a way of checking in with yourself to make sure your interpretations are coming from a clear, objective place. The important thing is to show that you take this work seriously and that you're dedicated to giving insights that are both meaningful and responsible.
So even though it's intuitive, you still have a process.
Exactly.
And RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you explain that process and highlight the skills and practices that support your unique approach. It's like having a cosmic translator, helping you communicate your methods in a way that potential employers will understand.
It's a game changer for anyone who wants to be their authentic selves and show the value they bring to astrology.
Well, there you have it. All 10 interview questions. I feel like I could go out and ace an astrologer interview right now.
I know, me too.
But this is just the start. RoleCatcher has so many resources to help you on your astrological journey. From career guides to AI-powered tools that can help you fix up your resume, practice for your interviews, and even connect with mentors.
It's like having this incredible cosmic support system at your fingertips. It really is. Okay, ready for question number 7?
Yeah, hit me.
All right. It is, what are some of the ethical considerations that are important for astrologers?
Ethics. That's a big one.
It is a big one. So when you're answering this, you want to start by talking about the importance of confidentiality.
Okay, makes sense.
You're dealing with really sensitive information.
Right.
You know, people are trusting you with their hopes, their fears,
Definitely.
their deepest desires. So you got to make it clear that you understand that.
Yeah.
And you respect that trust. You also want to touch on the idea of informed consent.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you got to make sure your clients understand what they're getting into before they even book a reading with you.
Yeah.
You know, what are the limitations of astrology? What can they realistically expect to gain from a reading?
That's a good point.
And what are your boundaries as an astrologer? You're not a therapist. You're not a financial advisor.
Right, right.
So be upfront about that. And finally, talk about your commitment to ongoing education.
Oh, yeah, you've got to stay up to date.
Exactly. Astrology is a constantly evolving field. There are new discoveries, new interpretations all the time. So you have to show that you're dedicated to keeping your knowledge fresh.
And RoleCatcher can actually help with that, right?
Absolutely.
They've got suggestions for further learning.
They do. They offer a bunch of resources like webinars, workshops, courses, even mentorship opportunities to help you stay at the top of your game.
It's like having a personalized professional development plan.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 8. How would you describe your astrological style or approach?
Ooh, this is a fun one.
Yeah, this is where you get to show off your personality a little bit.
Totally. So think about what makes you unique as an astrologer.
Yep.
What are you particularly drawn to? What techniques resonate with you the most? Are you more of a traditional astrologer?
Mm.
Or do you lean towards a more modern interpretation? Do you focus on psychological astrology?
Right, right.
Or maybe evolutionary astrology? Or are you really into a specific area, like relationship astrology or career astrology? The point is to paint a picture of your astrological niche.
It's like defining your brand as an astrologer.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you analyze your astrological profile
Oh, really? How so?
based on your birth chart, your experience, your interests,
Uh-huh.
and it can give you insights into your strengths, your weaknesses, and suggest areas where you might want to specialize. It can even help you craft a bio or a mission statement.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like having a cosmic marketing consultant. Okay, let's move on. Question number 9. How do you handle disagreements or differing interpretations with clients?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
This is getting into those conflict resolution skills, which are essential for any astrologer.
Yeah, because let's face it, not everyone's going to agree with your interpretations.
Right, exactly. So when you answer this, you want to emphasize your communication skills,
Okay.
your ability to listen actively, and validate the client's perspective, even if you don't see things the same way. You also want to highlight your diplomacy, your ability to explain your reasoning clearly and respectfully without getting defensive.
Right.
You might even want to give a specific example of a time when you navigated a disagreement successfully.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. How you turned a potential conflict into a productive conversation.
Right. You could even talk about how you use those disagreements as learning opportunities to refine your own understanding of astrology.
So it's not about being right or wrong. It's about finding common ground and helping the client.
Precisely. And you know what? RoleCatcher can actually simulate those tricky client interactions for you.
Oh, wow.
With their AI, you can practice responding to challenging questions, objections, or even downright hostile remarks. It's like a virtual boot camp for dealing with difficult clients.
I love that. All right, on to the final question in this set from RoleCatcher. What are your long-term goals as an astrologer?
This is where you get to dream big.
Yeah, it's your chance to show them your ambition, your vision for the future.
Exactly. So think about where you see yourself in 5, 10 years. Do you want to build a thriving private practice? Write books. Teach workshops. Develop new astrological techniques. Maybe you want to specialize in a particular area, or even become a thought leader in the field. Share your aspirations authentically.
So it's not just about what you want to do, but also why you want to do it.
Exactly. Show them that you're passionate about astrology and that you have a clear vision for your future.
And of course, RoleCatcher can help you map out those goals.
No, absolutely. They have career pathing tools
Yeah.
that can help you identify potential opportunities, set milestones, and create a plan for achieving your dreams. It's like having a cosmic GPS guiding you toward your destiny.
That's awesome. Okay, so we've covered all 10 of the interview questions that RoleCatcher gave us. What's next?
It really is. So we've covered a lot in this deep dive, from showcasing your experience to navigating ethical dilemmas. It's been quite a journey through the world of astrological interviews.
And all thanks to RoleCatcher's guides. We've unearthed some truly valuable advice and strategies.
Definitely. But we're not quite done yet. We have one more interview question to tackle, and then I think we should wrap up with some cosmic career advice.
Sounds like a plan. What's the last question on our list?
All right, last but not least, it's what resources or tools do you use to enhance your astrological practice?
Oh, okay. This is where you get to show off your astrological toolbox.
Exactly. It's all about showcasing your commitment to professional development and staying at the cutting edge of the field. So think about the books, the software, the websites, the podcasts that you use to deepen your knowledge and refine your skills.
Right. Like, do you have a favorite astrology software you use for creating charts or running reports?
Yes, mention those. And talk about why you like them. Do you rely on any specific astrological databases or research journals? Those are great resources to mention. You can even talk about the social media groups or online communities where you connect with other astrologers and share ideas.
Oh, yeah. The astrological community is so vibrant online. It's a great way to learn from others and stay inspired.
Absolutely. And don't forget to mention how you use those resources to stay current with astrological trends and new discoveries.
So you're showing them that you're actively engaged in the field and you're always looking for ways to improve your craft.
Precisely. And you know what? RoleCatcher can be a valuable addition to your astrological toolbox as well. They have AI-powered tools that can analyze your skills and suggest relevant resources based on your strengths and weaknesses.
It's like having a personal astrological librarian curating the perfect collection for you.
It really is. So there you have it, 10 interview questions that can help you land your dream job as an astrologer.
And we covered so much more than just the questions. We talked about showcasing your experience, handling difficult clients, navigating ethical considerations.
We even delved into the importance of defining your unique astrological style and setting long-term goals.
All thanks to those amazing guides from RoleCatcher. It's like having a cosmic roadmap for launching a successful career in astrology.
Absolutely.
I feel so much more prepared now, and I hope our listeners do too.
I hope so too. Remember, this is just the beginning. Keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, trust in the power of the stars to guide you on your journey.
Beautifully said. So to all the aspiring astrologers out there, good luck, happy stargazing, and may the cosmic forces be with you.